Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Look out for each other. We watch and make sure garages are shut at night, things of that nature.
Many people living in a North Fargo neighborhood say they're worried after another home break-in. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. But there's a twist in this situation. The homeowners were there and confronted the suspect before they ran off. While the homeowner is left picking up the pieces, Valley News Team's Bradford Eric takes us inside this frightening situation.
It was 6:30 a.m. in the 3100 block of Peterson Parkway last week. A woman heard a noise, checked on her child, and called police from behind that locked bedroom door. Then 5:45 this morning, it was Bonet Boulevard. A homeowner heard a noise, went downstairs, and found a young white man in their house. Along with that, Fargo police are also investigating another burglary that happened overnight, just down the block. The homeowner says 2 motorcycles were stolen. It understandably has some neighbors pretty worried.
Yeah, it's very concerning, considering my grandkids live close to me up north here.
Edlin says he makes sure his doors and windows are locked up tight. He also grabs his truck keys and makes sure it's secured before heading to bed.
If you leave your vehicle unlocked and you got your garage door opener, they can open that thing and open your garage in a heartbeat.
Another couple just doors away said they had no idea of what happened overnight and this morning, and began questioning why the police weren't notifying the neighborhood.
When they do confront someone, whether it's just by verbally or by physical force or whether it's a gun, you don't know the mindset of that suspect. You don't know if it's the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Deputy Chief Joe Anderson says the suspects in the home burglaries are lucky they didn't get a slug to the chest. There's a large population of hunters in the Fargo area and many gun owners. But if you simply lock your doors, it's often the first deterrent for a criminal. In Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Police say to keep your garage door closed, security lights turned on, and if you have an alarm system, use it. If you're heading out of town, arrange for the post office to hold your mail. People in the Northern Valley might want to search for old blankets and sheets tonight if they can't bring all their flowers indoors. There's a frost advisory, and Hutch Johnson has more on First Weather. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. It has been a very cool day, even though we've seen just a pinch more sunshine than yesterday and a little less wind. The north winds are transporting that cool air southward. 51 at this hour in Bemidji, 54 in Aberdeen. Bismarck a little warmer, but no one really in the 60s until we look out toward the Twin Cities and eastern Minnesota. That's where we see a few showers in southern Minnesota and portions of South Dakota. For us, it's fairly quiet on the radar this evening. Expect dry conditions in Fargo. Temperatures slipping away through the 50s by 9 o'clock, and once we get beyond sunset, the wind dies down, the skies clear out, and we'll be well on our way through those 40s. So be prepared for some frost. There is a frost advisory for our northern counties, as you see here on the graphic, mainly along and north of Highway 200 through North Dakota and much of northern and eastern Minnesota tonight.
Yikes.
Yeah, we could even see some in and around the FM area. So again, good advice on the sheets. Cover up those tender plants.
I know all about that, yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Hutch. 2 bar employees are hurt. 1 man is in custody after a scuffle at a downtown Fargo bar. Fargo police say 2 Empire Tavern workers refused to serve a man who they say was intoxicated. They were walking Shane Teagland out of the bar around 12:45 this morning. Police say someone started pushing and the 3 people fell on each other. 1 employee has an injured shoulder, another an injured leg. One of them was checked out at the hospital. Police say an onlooker made a citizen's arrest for assault. Teagland, a 21-year-old from Shevlin, Minnesota, is being held in the Cass County Jail. A truck tipped over this afternoon near the Maple River grain elevator. The truck was hauling a clay-sand mixture. 1 man was inside the truck at the time and had some trouble getting out. He was taken to the hospital by ambulance with unknown injuries. Dakota Access removed about 30 pieces of heavy machinery from a work site in Morton County this morning. The site is where 2 demonstrators, a man and a woman, chained themselves to the machinery last week. Protesters, including Green Party candidate for President Jill Stein, spray painted and hung flags from the machinery. A total of 22 people were arrested in connection with another protest near Glen Ullin today. 2 men were arrested for disorderly conduct, hindering law enforcement, and criminal trespass. 20 other people were also arrested for trespassing.
We have been planning for a long time for any actions, no matter where it's at. We hope that they would do it peacefully and on, not on private property rather.
Law enforcement say they're prepared for more incidents like this. The Dakota Access Pipeline has even sparked protest in Minnesota. Several Twin Cities activist groups joined forces today as part of a push to stop construction of the pipeline. Tribal protesters say the pipeline will harm water supplies and disturb sacred sites. The St. Paul rally is one of more than 100 similar protests nationwide. The city of Moorhead is asking for a slight property tax increase in 2017, citing growth and less government aid from the state. The city council just passed a preliminary budget. They're planning to put 2 new police officers on the streets and add another firefighter position. The proposed tax levy is $12.4 million. If approved, the city says the property tax impact to a median value home of over $170,000 would be $14.50 a year. The budget is preliminary and could be modified. Final approval will be given in late November or December. Hillary Clinton's national lead over Donald Trump has narrowed to 4 points in the latest NBC News Survey Monkey weekly tracking poll. The poll of registered voters shows Clinton with 48% to Trump's 44%. That's a decline of 2 points in the last week and down from the 10-point lead over Trump that Clinton had right after the Democratic convention. In a 4-way matchup, Clinton leads Trump by just 2 points, 42 to 40%. Libertarian Gary Johnson maintains his standing at 11 points, despite his gaffe last week when he couldn't identify the besieged Syrian city of Aleppo. The Green Party's Jill Stein maintains 4 points. It's one of the most anticipated football games in Vikings franchise history. Minnesota will host divisional rival Green Bay this Sunday night in US Bank Stadium. Tickets for the big game are at a premium. The cheap seats will cost at least $200 per ticket. You want a seat on the lower level? Those are at least $1,000 a ticket. And Minneapolis police want to warn fans that some people will take advantage of the market and sell counterfeit tickets at a big price.
Not all bad tickets are purchased by some guy standing on the corner. They're purchased on StubHub, Vivid Seats, Killer Seats, Master Ticket.
So how can you protect yourself from buying a fake ticket? If you're buying tickets from someone on the street, police suggest taking the seller's photo or a photo of their license. Also, ask the seller if they would walk with you to the ticket counter to redeem your ticket. If they won't do any of those things, police say they're likely selling fake tickets. The Minnesota Vikings also have had some colorful matchups with the Dallas Cowboys over the years. And on December 1st, Minnesota's team and the Cowboys will meet in another clash that will be colorful, even if the game isn't any good. Both squads will wear Color Rush uniforms designed by Nike. This is what the Vikings gear will look like. The Vikings revealed this model this morning. The whole uniform will include deep purple jerseys with minimal gold piping, purple pants, and purple socks. Driver's license offices statewide will be temporarily closed next Wednesday, September 28th. The closure will allow employees with the North Dakota Department of Transportation to take some required annual training. Here are the affected locations in our area. The Grand Forks Driver's Office off of Washington Street will be closed from the 26th to the 28th. Business will be back to normal the following Thursday, which is the 29th. Small town community pride is alive and well in Oakley, Minnesota. Oakley is 25 miles southeast of Thief River Falls. Now, because of one man's efforts, Oakley can boast something that Fargo, a town that's much larger, cannot: a city flag. When Matthew Genova retired as a police officer in Southampton, New York a few years back, he decided to move to Oakley, Minnesota, population 429, to be near friends. Then he decided something was missing: a city flag.
This over here is the French Canadian of the people that settled here, and this is the Norwegian flag, and this is to represent the farmers, and of course the city was established in 1910.
They'll hold a special ceremony in Oakley on September 30th to dedicate their new city flag. Meanwhile, an effort to establish a city flag for Fargo remains in limbo. A group called the Arts Partnership started a campaign to design a new flag last fall, but they still haven't chosen one. If you are up for a challenge, this is the weekend where it's totally acceptable to play in the mud and raise money for good causes. The 5th annual Vikings Challenge and Crusade is happening in Fergus Falls, an extreme wilderness mud run with about 13 to 18 obstacles. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop tried out a few of them this morning. She got muddy when going through the triple humps and successfully made it through the swing. There are 3 different options for people: a 5K, 10K, and family fun run. That looks fun. The event is open to all ages and activity levels.
You know, watching the families, and I think one guy really summed it up. He says, watching families work through obstacles together. And, that's kind of the event here.
If you don't want to get dirty, you can watch. There's free parking and camping. Some call it the biggest farm show in the upper Midwest. The Big Iron Gates opened this morning at the fairgrounds in West Fargo. Farm equipment dealers, market analysts, and even crafters were all busy at today's event. Last year, some 70,000 people took in the show. This is the 36th year for Big Iron. The show runs from 9 to 5 tomorrow, 9 to 4 Thursday, and it's free. There's no charge to get in and no charge for parking. And don't forget to tune in tonight to watch Christine Stanwood and Robert Hahn on the new Valley News Live at 9 on the Fargo CW. Here's a look at some of the programming this evening on the CW. It starts off with The Flash at 7, followed by Mad TV at 8. And then it's Valley News Live at 9, followed by Seinfeld at 9:30. If you have questions about where to find the CW, we have posted information on our website, valleynewslive.com. A lot of you have Black & Decker electric blowers for your lawn, but certain model numbers are being recalled because they could cut your fingers. Those details are still ahead tonight.
Very cool high temperatures today. In fact, we're at the high of 59 right now in the FM area. It does look like warmer weather is in store, but not before we wrestle with some frost. Details in your hour-by-hour forecast next.